Are you ready for some spoilers? Are you ready for some romance? Are you ready for some heartbreak? Are you ready to get your box of tissues out? It's gonna be one of those days, and I'm sharing and spoiling like crazy. Spoil. Be warned, spoil alert, spoil alert, spoil alert. Getting into that time. Big brother. But anyways, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Kristina. This is where we read books and talk about books. No special effects, no special lighting. I have a couple of videos that I have a solid black t-shirt. It comes off purple in the videos, so that's my lighting is off, my audio, everything is off. But what can you do? As long as the computer continues to be held together by the binder clip, I'm good. So we'll see what happens. Please check out my Star Trek Next Generation recaps every single Friday. Please check out my If Then videos also every single Friday. We started out with the Bridgertons. If you like Julia Quinn's Bridgertons, maybe you like the Mallorys or Stephanie Quinn's Sinsters, Catherine Coulter's Sherbrooks. Please check those out. And I did a whole bunch of Homicide with Kathy Reichs and Patricia Cornwell. Well, actually, that's Forensics. We did Homicide. We did Scotland Yard. I did Native American Indians, Detective Hillerman types. Yes, ma'am. So I have tons of if thens. In fact, I just did an if then on time travelers. Please check that out. And I got an author to read from that for myself. It's only 5 books in now, but it's a really good series. So please check out my videos on A Matter of Time with Julie McQuinn. Please check out my videos on those. And don't forget to please check out Flashback Mondays, where I talk about all the books reviewed in this magazine. I've been getting carried away lately and been hitting 60 books each thing, and the video's been going almost 2 hours, and then it takes almost 6 or 7 to upload. And they say I may have fast internet, but my computer's a turtle. So what can you do? And then again, you may not even see the video because YouTube is a messing. I don't know what's going on, but some of my videos don't even get seen by you. So you might have to go digging for them. I've had a couple videos that have had 3 views, and I know who those 3 people are, and no one else has seen them. So I don't know what YouTube is doing. I am a subscriber to this other channel. They have millions of subscribers, hand to God. And I know that they're doing a video, a live thing at a certain time. And sometimes they don't come up for me. And I'll have to search for like 20 minutes trying to find them and asking all around, where's the link to this video? Because it's not coming up on my YouTube. I don't know what YouTube does, but it's not just the small guys that get lost. Or maybe it is the small guys that get lost and I'm just a small person and they're getting rid of me too. But anyways, and also my daily book reviews. And that's what this is. I do approximately 15 videos a week, so please check all of those out. But we are doing book 13 of The Shadows, J.R. Ward's BLACKDAGGER Brotherhood. We are also doing James Patterson's Alex Cross series. I don't know, I have so much trouble with that. And Victoria Thompson's Gaslight series. And now I'm throwing in Julie McQuinn's Time series. So we're doing all those. That's my to be read pile this week. And this is book 13, and Trez and IAM have always been backup supporting characters. It would take a really long time to go through the cast list, and some of the members are not even prevalent in this story anyway. So we'll just assume that you are familiar with the BLACKDAGGER Brotherhood. There's a bunch of vampires, and they're good guys, and they're fighting the enemy of the Lessers. You don't see too much of the lessers in here. We've been dealing with a new band of bastards. That's the name of them, band of bastards. Those are guys that could be brothers, could be considered brothers, and maybe if things worked out differently, or if they had need of them way back when, but for whatever reason, I guess because they were illegitimate children, they were not considered a straight line. Um, they were named the Bastards, the Band of Bastards, and they formed their own thing. And not only were they against, they helped fight the lessers, but they fought them separately, and they didn't get all the luxuries that the brothers did. Although, if you read some of J.R. Ward's books and some of the brothers, how they started out, they all had very, very difficult childhoods. Although, if you want to talk a difficult child, and we will get to Sherilyn Kenyon's series, Dark Hunters, eventually this year, but Acheron is well over 1,000 pages, and there are other people she tortures just as bad, but it's hard. I always tell people, when you read Acheron, and when we will do a reread later this year, and I'm telling you right now, confessing that I will only read part 2 forward when I do the reread, because part 1 is that heart-wrenching. So if you're one of those people that likes your heart wrenched out, read the whole book. And then for rereads, read the whole book. But if you're one of those people that doesn't want your heart wrenched out, just start with part 2. It is much better, because it's just the Acheron is just punished unbelievably during his childhood, tortured for no good reason than the fact that he exists, and that's just absolutely horrible. Sherilyn Kenyon on a podcast recently was talking about the fact that her current book that she's writing, she had a 2,000 word torture scene, and she really enjoyed it, but she decided that the fans might not need that much torture, so she was going to cut it down a few pages. And I'm sitting there going, good grief. But anyways, let's get back to our J.R. Ward book here. Trez and IAM have been supporting characters for most of the series. They were working with Revenge, and we haven't seen too much of Revenge, and he only makes a couple of brief appearances in here. So, we're heading towards our outskirts now. We're heading towards the next generation characters. So we're gonna have to be dealing with some of that in the next couple of books. And I know the junior class starts coming up, and we start getting their stories, and they start becoming our main characters start becoming supporting characters to these young kids that are moving up in the world with the Glam era. So we're gonna have to start dealing with that. So we're losing some. We're not losing, but some of our main characters are falling back to the sidelines a little bit. I mean, John Matthew and Blaine Quinn have been in your face for the whole series, so they're starting to fall back. Although Quinn is getting a little bit of face time, on stage time. One of my authors says that if it happens on the page, then that's considered on stage. But if you're told about it, oh, Johnny went to the store last week, then that's off stage. That action happened off stage. So we're getting quite a bit. The stuff with Quinn is actually on stage. We also have a traitor, maybe not traitor, because she's doing it for the right reasons, but she hasn't told anybody she was doing it for the right reasons. Although I think she did confess the first time, way back a couple books ago, but she hasn't divulged stuff. We have a couple of revelations in this book too. It's a sad book. We have a death, and I am spoiling up the yin yang. And when I read these books, I gotta share them with you. So Trez and IAM are brothers. They're shadows, and Trez, according to legend, according to the evil legend, um, he was the one born to be the mate to the queen, the future queen. She's not queen yet, but when she was born, he was determined to be her soulmate, and he has been betrothed to her since she was born, and that's like 20 years now. But he's never seen her, he's never met her, he has no clue about her. And all this time, as you know, Trez has been very promiscuous, sometimes 2 or 3 a night. And he's been having issues with these girls falling in love with him and all that stuff. And he wants nothing to do with them. He ends up wiping their brains. We don't get too much of the Shadow's actual talent. They do have some abilities that the brothers don't. So I'm not really going to go into all of that. But so his parents are the ones. Trez's parents sold him to the queen for money and power and prestige and stuff like that. And in the last book, he kind of sold them out, and they lost everything. And he hasn't talked to them in 20 years either. So it's just been him and IAM, his brother, for like 20 something years, and they've been supporting cast in Revenge's story. But now they are taking front and center in their own story. So we start off with, if you read the last book with me, Trez is currently in a relationship. He's finally found a woman for him. She's a chosen. From the other side. When Fury became Primal, he decided to bring all the chosen to this side if they wanted to come to this side to experience life on this side. And she was one of the ones that came over. And her and Trez have sort of mated, and now he's in a load of trouble because it's determined that now the queen wants him to come bond with her daughter, the princess, the one that he was betrothed to a whole time long ago. And he's in love and mated to Selena and doesn't want to do this. And we also have a very rotten moment in the beginning of the book. It's heart-wrenching for someone who was unable to have children myself. I had 5 miscarriages. To the fact that the queen has another child, and because the child was not destined to be the next queen, according to her astrologers, they kill the child's brand new infant, healthy child right out of the thing, and they kill it. And that was just heart-wrenching. I hate when that was needlessly done. A very small of a plot line by J.R. Ward, and I just didn't like it. It was very, very sad. It was very, very heart-wrenching. So we do spend some time with Trez is still getting those migraines, by the way, and we still haven't learned what those are all about. So it turns out that Selena has V has a vision of Trez, and he goes, it's a cryptic vision. He tells Trez that the statue will waltz, and we don't have no clue what that's supposed to mean when it happens, when he tells Trez this information. 500 chapters later, you get it. So there's something to sort of look forward to. Then we are also dealing with Lucas, Quinn's brother, who was held by the Lessers for such a long period of time, and he's going through some mental issues. He's going to need a shrink for a really long time. He he wants suicide. He wants it yesterday. He's got a gangrene or infection. He's going to lose his leg, and we will get to that shortly. He's really depressed. He wants to end it. He's a mess. He's an absolute mess. And considering all that he went through, kind of deservedly so, you would expect him to be such a mess after what he went through. It's only, but so, and Selena isn't feeling too well. She goes back to the Scribe Virgin, but the Scribe Virgin sends her back home to Earth. I don't know why the Scribe Virgin didn't fix her, but it turns out it's happened to other chosen previously, and I do not know why the chosen did not try. The Scribe Virgin didn't try and fix them, but apparently it's happened to several others. So it's just not good. So then we have Layla, who was dealing with the pregnancy, and she's going through some issues herself. She privately negotiated a truce with Zokor because Zokor is part of the band of bastards. He was the leader, and he had desired to overthrow Wrath. But then when all the stuff happened in the last book, Layla negotiated a truce unknowns to anybody else, unknowns to the Brotherhood, unknowns to anyone. She negotiated a truce with Zokor that if she became his concubine, his lover, that Zokor would not pursue his kingdom thing. And Zokor is in love enough with her that he conceded that he would not do that anymore. His cohorts, the band of bastards, are kind of upset about this. This is what they've been living for the past 500 years. This has been their only thought for the past 500 years. So you can see that the abrupt change is going to affect them, and they're going to start to break up. We have Zypher, Siphon, Balthasar, Sin, and Thro. And Thro had been through some situations in the last book. He had, as an attempt to get inside information on the Brotherhood, Zokor stabbed Thro really, really bad and then left him for the brothers to find, hoping that the brothers would take them back to their location, and Thro would be able to identify the location, and the band of brothers would be able to attack. But because the Brotherhood's mansion was so good hidden, it did not prove fruitful. And in the process, Thro found Layla, who fell in love with Zokor. So that went to 6 Ways in a Sunday. Selena is also, Layla is learning to drive. She's got a car now. Instead of dematerializing to see Zokor, she's driving places to see Zokor. Selena has a disease. It's called the arrest. There's no cure for it. When it completes its mission, the person ends up a statue, and that's apparently what all the statues are on the other side. They're all women that have just frozen. So it's just a really sad thing. And it's gonna kill Trez or break his little heart. The black and white image have turned to solid bone. The black and white image was of what's supposed to be Selena's knee, and Doc Jane indicated different areas with the head of a silver pen. On X-ray, bones register white and pale, whereas connective tissue, ligaments, and tendons do not offer that kind of contrast. There should be dark patches in between the cap and socket. Instead, it's just solid bone. She's gone solid. She's unable to bend things. So the disease has proven fatal. And Trez contemplates suicide because he can't kill Selena. He's thinking that maybe he will die with her. Then we've also had this side story um, with Asil uh, and I keep want to say Rosalind, but it's not Rosalind. It's something else. Solia, and I'm still not sure what that has to do with the storyline or Sal's part in the storyline. He's like a subsidiary character, but then again, we did know what Trez and IAM were gonna be, but they were consistently in each and every book. But they were more co-workers of Ren, so we could see that coming. But we still don't know what Sale is doing, what his role in all of this will be. We don't know that yet. We also get a new guy that we met in the last book, Avalon. He works for the king as a secretary. And this is where we're meeting the next generation. Avalon's child, Paradise, is offered up a job in the Brotherhood secretarial type situation because Thro has come to give himself up to the brothers, and he is willing to give information on the band of bastards so he can stay with the brothers because of the situation of Zokor giving up his pursuit of the kingdom that really bothered Thor. So he is split from the band of bastards, and he is going to live with Avalon. Avalon, being a loyal king subscriber, uh, calls the king immediately and tells the king what's going on. The king comes and the brothers come and talk to Thor. They investigate what Thor tells him, and he told them the truth, but it was a little too late. The homestead had already been evacuated. They must have had pre-warned information. We also get a small snippet of the lessers, and it doesn't fit until you get to the end, and then it fits. J.R. Ward is good like that. She'll throw out a bone, and unless you're really paying attention, she won't really give you details on that bone, and then like much later she'll bring this back, and you'll be like, oh, that's what that was about. So Layla is meeting Zokor through this. We do have a little bit of appearance by Butch, not much. We do have appearances by Lassiter later on. Wrath tells Avalon to let Thro stay with him. That old thing about keeping your enemies closer so you can watch them type situation. So he's doing that. IAM tries to negotiate with the Queen's negotiator. The Queen's executioner, he was the father of the child that they killed up there, and he is in mourning, and he is very upset with the Queen for doing this. She could have used executive power and not done it, but they didn't want a rival for the princess to rival her for the throne. And he's going through some stuff, so Trez is able to negotiate with the executioner to get some privileges and stuff like that to delay having, because he is supposedly the the future king of the race. He's supposed to be the betrothed one since birth and all that kind of situation. So he's going through some stuff, but also because he's been mated to Selena, he doesn't want to give her up. IAM gets a bee in his bonnet and decides that he's going to go to the shadows back home, see the extensive library, and see if they have any clues as to what the disease is for Selena. When he goes, however, he discovers that the executioner who had arranged his visit, later on we find out that he got called into a meeting or whatever, got derailed. But in the meantime, because he was not there, and IAM thinks it was a betrayal, he gets captured and he gets locked in this room, and he's there for several days, and he doesn't eat and stuff like that. But he meets one of the servant girls who brings him food and stuff, and She offers after several days to take him to the library to help him out. They don't find anything. The executioner ends up letting him go. But in the meantime, IAM, and the servant girl fall in love. Now, if you're most of the time as a reader, you can see it coming. The character doesn't see it coming, but we as the reader can see it coming. We have an idea of who she really is. She's not telling Trez IAM who she is. She's keeping that a secret. But we have a lot of Assail and his cousin, and we don't know what's going on here with the gun running and the drug running. I know the brothers were interested in all that. I still don't get what that's all about right now, but probably it will be revealed later on. So we'll see how that goes. His Assail story is getting a little bit bigger each book. So we have all that stuff going on. IAM is starting a relationship with the the girl that helps him. We get some more information on Icor and Balthazar. They do some stuff. Zocor gets hurt, and Layla helps him a little bit. I like the little. When you read books, you take the jacket off, you read the book, and then when you're finished, put the jacket back on so that you're not dealing with a sliding jacket each book, and because that way you don't damage the jacket either. And I just thought I'd point out, isn't that pretty? The purple, supposed to be the shadows, but let's put this back. I just wanted to see what I wrote here. Trez and Selena went on a date. Afterwards, they were attacked by the Lessers, and the cops got involved. And their speed chase through the city made television news. So they were all sitting around the sofa. Check it out, we made CNN, someone said as the flat TV flared to life. Sure enough, up on the tremendous screen, security cam footage of the Mercedes going die-hard through the lobby was on endless loop. A statement from a police officer who was involved in the chase, a witness from somewhere or another. And so they made the news. Also, there's a smaller story in here that's going to be a little bit of a bigger story down the road. I do believe a couple of books ago, we had an incident where there was a mother and child that were being in an abusive relationship. The husband was horribly abusive to both of them. He ends up dying, and the mother and the daughter end up in that safe house that Mary is working in. And it turns out the mother is sick, and she ends up dying. And I do believe that Mary and Rage adopt the child because Mary cannot have children of her own. There's a whole huge backstory there. And it's repeated in this book too. Just to refresh your memory, this is what happened, blah blah blah. So I do believe they end up adopting the kid. I'm not sure. I'm almost positive they end up adopting the child. Paradise is Abalon's kid, and she's really enjoying her role as secretarial. She's doing a really good job, but she also has a secret wish to join the Brotherhood as one of the fighters. Now that the brothers have opened up the classes to the younger generation again, they're going to start training sessions. That's how we met John, Matthew, Clay, and Quinn, and Blay. They came into a training class. We're going to start that up again, and that's going to lead for the next generation stories of the next class. We're going to get some Paradise and her friend Peyton, and there's going to be another person come in, and I think that's going to be a trio for a while. I don't remember too much of that till I reread the books. Lucas, Quinn's brother, is going through some serious stuff with the leg. It has the disease, it's madly infectious. Jane has to take it. Quinn, when Lucas wakes up, he's royally pissed because he wants to die. He's suicidal. He's been through his head. He doesn't understand why he did all this stuff to Quinn way back when. He doesn't understand why Quinn is working to save his life, and he just wants to die. That's all he wants to do is die. He's been through this tremendous stuff, so if he ends up living, he's gonna need a shrink help, serious shrink help. So who knows? Maybe down the line we may get a book from him too. He's got a lot of stuff to make up to if he, although he was tortured for almost a year by the Lessers. So we'll see how that goes. And they've been using Darius's old house for meetings with the Clamara and stuff like that. So the band of bastards have learned that location, and they're planning something. Nothing has happened yet, but they're planning something. So IAM escapes, that the shadows thing, and he's meeting with the chick, and he's falling in love with her. He bonds with her instantly. They're having relationships. When he goes back to the brothers, all the brothers can smell the bonding scent off of him. They know he's bonded with him, and it's Lassiter that brings it up. It's just cute how that happens. I just like that. That was a really cute scene. Lassiter is kind of sort of replacing Butch in the joke department, so we'll see how that goes. So there was a couple of cute scenes I wanted to read, and I can't. So at the my foot's falling asleep. So there's a couple of sad things that happen at the end. There's also a decree from the Queen that if you don't present Trez to us at the end of the book, we will start a war with you. So Wrath is not pleased with all this, and but the stuff with Selena is going on, so no one wants to take him away from Selena while this stuff is going on. And then there's a couple of huge reveals at the end, a couple of twists that J.R. Ward throws in, and I guess I shouldn't really read the end for you. You need to do that yourself. I was gonna, but I decided not to. I don't want to really spoil the book for you. What are you doing? What are you doing? So that is the Shadows. I believe we'll probably get IAM kind of got a shorter version of a book, but we may see more of him later. IAM TREZ, but their story's kind of on hold. I think their story's on hold for a little bit. We might see it as secondary. So that was, what are you doing? That was book 13. I hope if you have not watched my previous videos, we started with Darius, and then did Black Doc Lover, and Lover Eternal, and all the rest of them back there. And I hope you will join me in a couple of days for The Beast, book 14. And I hope you will join me for Patterson later this week, Victoria Thompson later this week. I hope you will join me each and every Monday for Romantic Times Book Review. 60 books, 50, 60 books. I'm enjoying the heck out of this magazine. Please check out all my if-thens, especially the time travel one and the Native American one and the Black author one. I worked really hard on those, and no one has watched those. I thought they were going to explode and go viral. Dream on, Chrissy. Dream on. it didn't happen. So I hope you enjoyed the shadows, and I hope you will check my other videos out. Thank you so much, and please like and subscribe. It would help so much. Thank you.